about an hour before I make it to my destination. I can't remember the last video I uploaded, what it was about. I think I uploaded a video talking about going to Ada, Oklahoma. So we'll start from Ada. As I was getting unloaded at Ada, they assigned a trip to me to go to Oklahoma City, pick up a load out of Niagara bottled water, and take it to Walmart Distribution Center in Harrisonville, Missouri, about 40 miles south of Kansas City. It's like 320 paid miles and around 80 empty. And it was supposed to be a drop and hook on both ends, but I got to Niagara and they said that the trailer wasn't ready because they didn't have an empty to load. So they said they would just live load me. And I was there for 5 to 6 hours, somewhere between 4 and 6 hours. It was probably closer to 5 hours that I was there getting loaded. I had to wait for a dock door, and then once I got docked, it took them like 2 hours before they even started loading me. And then it took them a couple hours to load me. So I was going to use all of that off-duty time as a 10. So I was just going to personal conveyance over to the truck stop and finish out my 10. And this Geo tab has issues with kicking you out of exemption states whenever it detects that you're driving, or whenever the truck turns on and off or anything like that. I was listed in personal conveyance. I triple checked that I was in personal conveyance because I know it has this issue. But as soon as I got on the city street and went over 5 miles an hour, it kicked me over to the drive line and interrupted my off-duty. And safety was closed. There's only like one person in safety that can modify that whenever it screws up like that. And they only work like 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and it was 7 o'clock at night. I tried calling the driver managers to see if maybe somebody in safety was working late, see if they could, message them or something. I just got attitude from the driver manager. So I just did I restarted my 10. So a 400-mile trip that should have taken like half a day or 3/4 of a day is going to take over a day. It's going to take me like 27, 28 hours total for this load, which is really bad. And it's going to affect how many miles I can do today, because I'm having to do about 6 hours of driving today to do the load. So I'm only going to have about 5 hours that I can drive after I deliver this. So I'm going to be able to do a reduced number of miles on this daily, on today, because of Niagara screwing me over on that load yesterday, and then the bugs and glitches and just janky Geo tab that we use. The tablet probably doesn't meet the recommended specifications to run the applications it has on it, because it's really, really slow. There can be a 10 to 15 second delay in like pressing a button versus like a screen popping up. So there's a lot of issues with the equipment, the ELD in this truck. But this isn't the first time that it's kicked me out of personal conveyance onto the drive line. Luckily, it was not an hours of service violation. I still had about an hour of drive time left. It just screwed up my 10. But I am delivering this load now. There was a bad storm that moved through. While I was sitting there waiting to get loaded, it was raining and hailing, and the wind was blowing like crazy. And it looks like the back end of the storm is right over there right now. The storm is moving that way. So I might not have to deal with the storm, but if my next load is heading straight east, I might catch back up to the storm. I don't know. But that's about it. I fueled 11, and I don't know how many days there are in April. I don't know if it's a 30-day or 31-day month, but I think I only need about 80 gallons at a Love's to be platinum status for next month, so I get free showers. And today I think is the 29th, so if there's 2 more days left in April, as long as my next fuel stop is a Love's, then I should be platinum status for next month. I've lucked out in that the first 2 months that I've been driving, they've been doing a promotion where they're giving away free diamond status. They started that about halfway through my training. So I've been out here for about 2.5 months total, if you include my training time. I can't remember exactly. I think I started training like February 18th. So February, March, April. So May 18th will be my 3 months, I think. Yeah, I think April 18th will be May 18th will be my 3 months. June 18th will be my 3 months of solo, and that's when they wanted to wait until I can lease. They want me to. They don't want me to become a lease operator until I've had 3 months of solo driving, and that is June 18th or 19th. And Christina told me to start the paperwork on it on June 10th, because it takes like a week to do all the paperwork and get everything set up. And she said that nobody's probably going to make a big deal out of me if I get, started a couple of days early. So we'll see. I don't even know if I'm going to become an owner-operator at this point. I'm definitely going to become an owner-operator unless this whole Wuhan virus ends up being some massive new cataclysmic world-altering event. If we get some form of normalcy to where I can make it as an owner-operator, then I'm going to become an owner-operator. I may not become an owner-operator on June 10th when I'm supposed to. I may choose to stay as a company driver. But eventually, as long as things don't completely collapse, I will eventually become an owner-operator. Maybe I will become an owner-operator on June 10th. We'll see. The freight market could become better if a lot of people go out of business. There's a lot of people that are in trucking right now, and I don't wish ill upon anyone, but the market is saturated. And I'm not going to I have some strong opinions on why the freight market is the way it is as far as freight rates and volume and stuff like that. That I'm not going to convey on this video because it probably offends some people. But this is just adding to an ongoing problem. The market was already saturated with too many trucks on the road. It keeps freight rates down. The only time that we see really decent freight rates, which a lot of drivers think are amazing freight rates, is whenever we have a boom, like in 2018. I think there was also one in 2016. And you start getting to the point where you're making like $3 a mile. And these people that are running the spot market, whenever they're able to average something like $2.50 to $3 a mile, that is incredible for them. That's what truck drivers should be getting all the time. But the market is artificially kept down by too many trucks being in the market, and it allows the rates to stay low. But anyway, that's another discussion, another topic. The market is saturated. It's always been saturated. And again, I I feel bad for anybody that ends up going out of business during this, but there are going to be a lot of people who go out of business if this lasts very long. There's probably already been a lot of people go out of business, but it's not making a lot of news right now because it seems like they're trying not to talk about too terribly much negativity in the news. They're just giving us enough to try to keep us in the lockdown, and there's a lot of negative stuff that I'm hearing in the alternative media that's not making it to the mainstream propaganda machines. Sorry, I see shiny things and I lose focus. But we'll see how all of that pans out. If a lot of people go out of business over the next month or two, and then they start reopening businesses, then we could see a surge in freight rates to where it's actually decent to be, an owner-operator. It all depends. Like, this could be a really good thing for the future of being an owner-operator if a lot of these people with bad business plans go out of business during this time. People that have like $2,000 a week in fixed costs, like, that's just crazy. That's really expensive, and you're reliant on the market being really good in order for your business to function at that level. So we'll see what ends up happening, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just day to day being a company driver. It's a bad time to be a company driver. It's a bad time to be an owner operator. It's a horrible time to try to get into trucking. I've heard horror stories on everything. Freight volume. Freight is slow. Rates are low. Companies are laying off. They're furloughing. I've heard that their hiring is down, even with student hires. I've heard CDL companies posting on subreddit saying they're having issues placing students with companies. So it's a tough time to get into the industry right now, and it's a tough time if you're already in the industry to be in the industry right now. Trucking is hurting just like everybody else, because trucking is a part of the entire economy. So it's affected by anything that happens in the economy. But that's the pilot. This is the only pilot Flying J, Petro, TA, or Loves on 49 in between Joplin and Kansas City. That pilot in Nevada, Missouri, is the only truck stop that I found on any of the searches that I did when I was looking for a place to stop, because I was going to run out of hours, approximately an hour from my delivery point. So anyway, that's it. In general, I'm rolling decent right now, but shippers and receivers are running over capacity, and it's causing a lot of delay on pickups and deliveries, and that's really screwing me over. So there's still your average everyday drama, lots of drama. I'm pissed off about a lot of things, but trying to keep my head up and stay positive. And I'm still excited about the possibility of becoming an owner-operator on June 10th. And I'm really excited about those trucks that I found at that company. What was that sales company in, I think it's Bolingbrook, Illinois? Anything in Motion. They have like 4 or 5 trucks, and they're all very similarly spec'd, and they meet all of my requirements. They don't meet all of my I want things, and there are a couple of things that they don't list on there. They don't list the gear ratio, and there was one other other thing I forgot about that they didn't list that I was going to have to ask about. But they have APUs, which I really, really want. Like, once you have an APU, you're always going to want a truck with an APU. This truck has an APU, and it is amazing. I love it. It has an APU and an inverter, and the Volvos that are for sale at Anything in Motion, they all have factory inverters, factory refrigerators, factory something else I can't remember. They were loaded out of the factory. These were like the premium XE package, and like they were fully loaded from the factory, and they had an APU added. I mean, these were really expensive trucks when they were bought new, and they're selling them for between like $36,000 and $40,000. And all of them are between 425,000 miles, and I forget what the highest mileage one was, but it wasn't ridiculous. It was maybe like 600,000 miles, maybe 650. But the one that I was looking at buying was the lowest mileage one at 425,000 miles, and it was $39,900. So I don't know. I think I might be able to get a better price than that, given the situation of the economy. The price doesn't seem to reflect the times that we're in. The market is probably about to be flooded with people trying to sell their trucks from all these drivers that are going out of business. So you're probably going to be able to get a truck really cheap right now. But for some reason, you should be able to get one really cheap right now, but the prices that I've seen don't reflect the state of the economy or reality. But maybe it's going to take a little bit of time. I heard the auto industry just recently started cutting prices on cars. So there's going to be a lag. They're going to try to wait as long as possible to cut prices on stuff. But we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks for watching. That's about it for me. We'll see what load I get next. I hope I have a load. I hope I don't have to wait all day for a load. I hope I keep rolling. But I hope you're having a great time. I hope the Wuhan thing isn't affecting you, too harshly. And good luck in whatever it is that you're doing, and all that good stuff. And just because it's a terrible time to get into trucking doesn't mean it's a terrible time to become an owner-operator. It's a terrible time to become a company driver. It's a terrible time to get into the industry. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It may be the best option for some people right now. So just because it's a bad time to do something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Because I can guarantee you there are still going to be people coming into the industry. There are still going to be people becoming owner-operators. And there are still going to be people becoming company drivers during these bad times. It's still going to happen. So good luck to everything that you're doing, and have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.